Hey guys, and welcome on into the next NHL off-season preview show. Today we're going to be talking about the Detroit Red Wings, taking a look at their off-season, the upcoming summer. We will jump right into it here, starting with draft picks and management. Detroit has all of their draft picks. They don't have their fourth-round pick. They do have Tampa Bay's fourth round pick, and also have an extra third and an extra seventh round pick this year. And then looking ahead at future years, Detroit is one of those teams, like Utah Mammoth, the first team we talked about, that has all available picks next year. So they are in a position where they could offer sheet a player if they wanted to do that. Steve Yzerman, GM for the Red Wings for a while now, and Todd McClellan, still head coach for the Wings. So they don't need to worry about their general manager or their head coach in this offseason. And they have a variety of picks, draft picks. In my opinion, this Red Wings team, they're at the point now where they need to make the playoffs. Now, obviously, they're not in the same position as Buffalo, where the playoff drought has been a long, long time. But this Red Wings team, 5 points out of a playoff spot last year. Really, their main goal will be to make the playoffs this year. So we're going to take a look at free agents for the Wings. Currently, they're estimated to have around $21,336,628 in cap space available. And while they do have a large list of UFAs and RFAs, I think most of the UFAs most likely move on to a different team. I don't think it's incredibly pressing for the Red Wings to re-sign any of the UFAs. Patrick Kane would be the only one that I do think the Red Wings should look at re-signing. A great year last year, one of the top free agent right wingers on the market. If you take Marner away, Patrick Kane, the most points of any right winger that is a free agent. So the Wings, those 3 RFAs, obviously you want to get your RFAs signed, and then I would look at re-signing Patrick Kane. But we'll get more to the signings later on in the show. Taking a look at the forward group as it stands right now for the Wings, Alex DeBrincat, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, projected to be the top line. And that is a great top line. That is a fantastic top line. Obviously, where most of the offense from the Wings will come is that top line. The second line projected to be Andrew Kopp, Marco Kasper, and Vladimir Tarasenko. Marco Kasper is my player to watch for the Detroit Red Wings. Had a great season last year for the Wings. He was 6th in scoring on the team. 37 points in 77 games, 19 goals, 18 assists for Marco Kasper. He is a player I think could take that next step next year, which is exactly what this Detroit Red Wings team really needs, is all of their young guns, because they do have a lot of young players. They need them to start taking that next step, because you cannot rely on the DeBrincat, Larkin, Raymond line completely for your offense. You need to get offense from other lines. So that will be the Wings' focus. I would look at beefing up that top 6, get Andrew Kopp more on the third line, but we'll discuss that a little bit more later. JT Compher, Jonathan Berggren, and Dominic Shine on that third line. Don't know if we see much of Dominic Shine. This is just projections that have him projected on the third line. Soderblom, Michael Rasmussen, and Austin Watson on that fourth line. Sheldon Dries and Carter Mazur, both extras. So the Wings overall, great top line, but lacking some forward depth here in this lineup. Speaking of forward depth, this is the list of the UFAs. We'll go through them as we did in the Utah video. There's a selection here of left wingers. Detroit could use a left winger. A guy like Nikolai Ehlers would be a great addition for Detroit. I think Jonathan Drouin would also be a good addition. JVR, while getting up there, he could be a more cheaper addition for the Wings, but definitely they want to look at adding some kind of depth, most likely a left winger. Centers, lots of guys to look at here on this list. However, this Wings team, Dylan Larkin, Marco Kasper, JT Compher, Michael Rasmussen, I don't know if center depth is the most important thing. I think, obviously center depth is important, but I mean, isn't a pressing matter for the Wings. I like their center depth, but most likely looking for a winger. So I don't know if really any of these guys would fit here for what the Red Wings are looking for. As I said, Patrick Kane, second most points last year of any of the UFA right wingers behind Mitch Marner. Patrick Kane does go elsewhere. Does Detroit maybe look at a guy like Kyle Palmieri or maybe Riley Smith to fill that void? There's guys to look at. RFAs, bunch of guys here, but when I look at it, I don't know if the Red Wings, while they do have the ability to offer sheet somebody with the fact they only have $21 million cap space, they do have to sign some RFAs. I don't think they'll be overly expensive, but you also do want to leave yourself some cap space to potentially look at guys, UFAs. Signing a guy on this list would take up a lot of cap space. So I don't know if the Wings particularly going to be, if Yzerman is going to sign anyone, trying to offer sheet. I wouldn't really expect that this summer. Looking at the defensemen for Detroit, Ben Sherratt and Mort Seider on that top D pair, Simon Evanson, Justin Holl on the second pair, Eric Gustafsson, Albert Johansson on the third pair, William Wallander currently projected to be the extra defenseman. When I look at this group, obviously you've got Evanson, a young guy, Wallander, Albert Johansson, three. So Moritz Seider is also still young, but he's more experienced than the other three guys there. Ben Sherratt, Justin Holl, Eric Gustafsson, more experienced defensemen. So if this is how the three pairs would look, I do like that you've got that experience with the less experienced guy overall. I do think Detroit, they're in a tough division. There's a lot of teams in that division that are good teams, and there are a lot of teams kind of like this Detroit, kind of like Ottawa, kind of like Buffalo, Montreal. All those teams are teams that are trying to get into that playoff race that perhaps haven't in recent years. So Detroit, if they want to compete, as I said, 5 points out last year, I think adding a defenseman would be a good idea for Detroit. When it comes to UFA defensemen, we've got guys on this list here. And I'm not exactly sure who would be the best fit when it comes to defensemen. Obviously, Aaron Ekblad, I think, would be an addition on any team. Dmitry Orlov might be possibly a good fit here for Detroit, but they're looking at adding somebody, I think, in my opinion. it would be good to add a defenseman. Looking at goaltenders, Cam Talbot projected to be the starting goaltender, Peter Mrazek as the backup. You've got two older goaltenders who are injury prone in net. So Mrazek 33, Cam Talbot 37, but both guys have injury histories, and I'm not going to say are made of glass, but they are easily injured for Detroit. So the other guy on the screen here, Sebastian Cossa, the future in net for Detroit. I would really like to see him get some starts here this year. I'd really like to see him be given a little bit more of an opportunity. He did play in one game last year, got the win for Detroit, gave up 2 goals, 14 shots, 12 saves on 14 shots. So one game there he played in. I'd like to see him play in some more games this year. But if you're the third goalie behind Peter Mrazek and Cam Talbot, you're most likely going to be seeing some starts in goal with the injury history with both of those guys. Lots of UFA goaltenders, lots of RFA goaltenders. I don't think Detroit is in the position right now when it comes to their cap space and the other needs that they have on the roster, and the fact that they already do have 3 goaltenders under contract that we just saw. Alex Lyon, of course, is a UFA. Do I see them re-signing him? No, I don't really. But it can never hurt to have extra goaltenders, especially with the guys they have. So adding an extra goaltender, adding some depth might not be the worst idea, but I think Sebastian Cossa should be seeing some more starts here for the Detroit Red Wings. And that brings us to offseason tasks. I know a bit of a shorter show here for the Wings, but my offseason tasks for Detroit: sign all 3 restricted free agents. You want to keep young guys around. Elmer Soderblom, Jonathan Berggren, and Albert Johansson. So 2 forwards and a young defenseman. Get those guys signed. I don't think they'll break the bank for Detroit, but I would get those guys signed. Second, number 2 and number 3 kind of work together here. So you want to try and re-sign Patrick Kane. I know he's getting up there in age, but had a great season for Detroit last year. He has the chemistry with this lineup. So in my opinion, I would look at re-signing Patrick Kane to another 1-year deal to keep him around. If not, if they do not re-sign Patrick Kane, you got to look at improving and adding to the top 9 forward group. If you don't have Patrick Kane, that would probably be the top 6. You probably want to look for another winger, I think, in the offseason. And then depending on cap space, if there's any trades that Detroit does overall, I would look at adding a defenseman, whether that's a free agent or by trade. Do you think Detroit could use another defenseman? And that's it. That is the Detroit Red Wings off-season preview show. A team with a lot of free agents to deal with, a lot of UFAs, so I do expect a lot of those guys to go. But a team, like a lot of others, like I said, that are trying to get back into the playoffs. Are they going to be able to do it? I think we're going to be able to see over the next couple months how the offseason goes for the Detroit Red Wings. But thank you guys for watching. make sure to hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the show, and give me your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think Detroit needs to do to get back into the playoffs? Who should they add? What positions should they focus on? If you're a Red Wings fan, feel free, or even if you're not a Red Wings fan, you're just a hockey fan, feel free to leave in the comments your thoughts on what you think Detroit should do in the off season. Thank you guys for watching.